Oh my God, guys. Oh my God. Uh, what do I call it? The shock of the century, the upset of the century. I'm just, I'm just in total shock right now. I'm shocked, really, really bad, like almost shooken up. I can't believe what's just happened. Andy Ruiz Jr. knocks out Anthony Joshua to become the first Mexican heavyweight champion. He is now the unified heavyweight champion of the world. Let me say that once again. Andy Ruiz Jr. is the new unified heavyweight champion of the world. He is the first Mexican heavyweight champion. And I don't know what to say. Do you wanna start it?
To be honest, when I was actually watching it, my cousin actually came to knock on the door, and Joshua had just dropped Ruiz. I didn't actually want to get out of my seat. I actually wanted to see the finish because I thought Joshua was going to finish him off.
It was crazy.
And I literally opened the door, and I've just walked into the living room, and my brother.
So this is what basically happened. So Anthony Joshua had just knocked down Andy Ruiz. He went to open the door, and he told my cousin the fight's over. Joshua's knocked him out. My cousin walks in, and Joshua's down on the floor, and it's just after that, it's just like, all jokes aside, that was just. It's really bad for British boxing because, like I said, Joshua was a heavyweight king at the minute. Him and Fury were, and it was a really bad performance. Really, really bad performance. Joshua was trading with him. I think one thing we know now, and one thing we know forward, that Joshua can't trade with anybody. He can't trade with any heavyweight with a good chin because the chances are there's too much vulnerability there. He can get hit and get hurt really badly. We've seen it in the previous fights, but...
And do you know, the thing is, do you know Parker, yeah? He probably looking back at it like, bloody, like, I'm just as good as Andy Ruiz. I could have caught him like that. But the thing is, what I don't understand is
styles make fights,
Styles make fights, yeah, I agree. But the thing is, like, no one actually expected Andy Ruiz. Like, this was like a complete, like, Joshua was just going to wipe him out in 3-4 rounds, But this is like, I'm still like in shock. Like, I wasn't expecting someone like Andy Ruiz. Certainly when Joshua had dropped him, I thought, all right, it's just going to be another Joshua KO. But then for Andy Ruiz to come back and then knock him out in the 7th round. And the thing was, in the Klitschko fight, Joshua got dropped, but he got back up and fought. He only got dropped once in that fight. In this fight, he got dropped multiple times. And the last time, he just didn't want to... I'm an actual Joshua fan, but he didn't want no piece of Andy Ruiz in that 7th round. He was finished. And I'm a Joshua fan, and I say it how it is. I'm not biased. He was finished. He got knocked out. He got beaten badly against Andy Ruiz. Simple as that. Yeah. No excuses.
You know, the thing is, right? The thing is, I just feel like the fight was like beaten out of him. It was beat out of him. Like I actually think he could have gone on. I actually think he could have gone on. I don't know what was going through Joshua's mind. Obviously, he's a fighter. We've seen it before. He's fought on, but it just felt to me like Joshua was giving the referee not the right signals. He wasn't giving the referee the right signals. And it's like he didn't want to continue.
And certainly, do you know?
And it's just, to be honest, it's hard to analyze a fight when it's just like so shocking because, we all want to see Anthony Joshua fight Wilder, Fury, but this has just put the spanner in the works. And all the other heavyweights now looking at this, even if, for example, Joshua wins the rematch, which there's no certainty, every heavyweight has seen what you need to do to Joshua. You need to land on him and you need to then pounce on him. Maybe Vladimir Klitschko should have really done that when he fought him, but he didn't. He missed the trick.
But the thing is with Vladimir Klitschko, it wasn't really his style. That's not the way he fights. He's a jab.
Neither was Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz was a brilliant boxer. He was just waiting for Joshua to trade or Joshua to trade with him. That's it. And then he was getting the better because one thing with Joshua, we know that he can't go in there exchange with the guy because he's leaving himself open. And we've seen that he's vulnerable. His chin's not the greatest. he can go down. Andy Ruiz had a granite-like chin. The thing is with Joshua, he's so powerful that even guys with granite chins, if he hits them, he can hurt them. The only problem is that while he hurt him, Andy Ruiz caught him, and Joshua got hurt. Now, it's just the fact that Joshua had so much time to recover, and he wasn't able to recover. Because if he had been knocked out in that round where he had got put down, when he put Ruiz down and then Ruiz put him down, people would say, oh, Ruiz caught him with a punch, he wasn't able to recover. It was the fact the fight went 4 or 5 rounds after and he got knocked out. It just, and his legs and body just looked terrible.
All jokes aside, I honestly thought once Joshua was wobbled in that round where he got dropped twice, his game plan should have completely changed. Him even thinking about knocking out Andy Ruiz then should have been a no-no, because when you don't have the legs, I literally, it was at the 6th, 7th round, my other brother, he said that Joshua's looking like he's just coming back now, he's recovered. But I said to my brother here that if Andy Ruiz lands on Joshua, this fight's over. I said that, I stuck to my word, because I could see in the way Joshua's body language was.
I've always seen Joshua's body, watching his fights, I can tell when his body, when he's looking strong, when he's looking like he's about to go here, or his body just gives way.
Even in the Dylan White, he goes very stiff.
Yeah, he goes stiff, and there's no energy.
His legs go really wide,
and there's no energy in his work.
Yeah, his punches don't hurt either.
I just think that I don't know. I just felt like it was. I don't want to take away credit from Andy Ruiz, because I don't want to say Joshua trains very hard and he wouldn't take anyone lightly. But it just felt to me like the guy beat him up and beat the fight out of him, and it was just really bad to watch. I thought I can't believe what's happened, because Joshua I thought would destroy this guy. The guy's in horrible shape and he's not in great condition. But what that shows is guys with just because your physique don't mean you're a terrible fighter. You could have a terrible physique. That doesn't mean that you can't fight. And that Andy Ruiz definitely showed that. Fat people can definitely fight. That's one thing for sure. But
what I don't understand that Joshua, I understand that he was gone. In that 3rd round. But I don't understand. I still think he could have won the fight if he just boxed. Because he's first of all,
his brain was scrambled, and I don't think he ever recovered. I think the difference is in the other fights.
Even in the 7th round, he traded, and that's why he got knocked out. And that was a massive mistake he made, like him thinking he could trade. Because to be honest, if he kept jabbing and jabbing, grabbing, he probably might have won the fight. Because if he had won all the other rounds after that, just jabbing, grabbing, not letting Ruiz settle or getting into a trade-off with him, he probably, in the 3rd round when he dropped Ruiz, he probably thought, you know what, I'm just going to finish him. Rather than picking his shots and thinking, you know what, he can punch, I need to be a bit wary, and try counter-punching him onto a right shot and finishing him like that. But he tried to finish him in a way which made him vulnerable to getting hit, and once he got hit, it was finished. Because his legs, he goes very stiff, whereas when someone else like Andy Ruiz got hurt, he's a lot more composed. Whereas when Joshua gets knocked down, he's not as composed. He looks like he's going to be finished.
The thing is, it's a really on the edge of the cliff stuff now, because if we look in the future, Joshua has to win the rematch.
His career's on the line.
If he loses the rematch,
career's
you
over.
Could say, no, I wouldn't go as far as saying his career's over. Yeah, but it's not about his career's over. It's about the fact that, it's going to be difficult for him to come back. And he's going to lose his credibility. He's no longer going to have the name. Now, if he beats him in the rematch, then people will say, okay, it was a bad performance. He came back and he won. It's happened before. People lose. Not everybody's Mayweather. I think since the Floyd Mayweather era, everybody thinks that everyone can be undefeated. Mayweather, don't get me wrong, was unbelievable talent. And he also picked and chose, and his career was managed very well as well. So
think this, guys. Vasily Lomachenko is probably one of the most skillful boxers I've seen.
Yeah, but forget that. That's a stupid comparison. Vasily Lomachenko had a world title fight in his first fight. It's stupid. Let's not talk about Vasily Lomachenko. He's different class. The fact is that there's a lot of pressure on him, and this is now where we will see what kind of character Joshua's got. Because if Joshua comes back from this, And I talk about Khan a lot. I talk about Amir Khan a lot. And I'll say, when Amir Khan got knocked out from Brady's Prescott, everybody said he's finished. Everybody was saying he's got no chin. And I'm pretty sure with Joshua, even though Khan wasn't even world champion at that point, Joshua was a unified champ. We're going to see a lot about Joshua's character, how he comes back, because this is going to hurt his confidence, you know? Joshua could either go on and become a great of the sport by winning the rematch, beating a lot of top fighters, understand that he's not invincible, he can be beat, right? This will probably now could either kickstart him and take him to another height, or it could ruin him and become like David Price. We just don't know because we haven't seen him in this situation. He's achieved a lot. He was a unified champ, so that's a lot. That's a great achievement. He needed one more belt to become undisputed. Now, after that performance, many people would say that he didn't have a chance against Wilder. But like I said, this defeat, right? Tony Bellew hit the nail on the head when he said, you rather lose to Andy Ruiz, right, than lose to Deontay Wilder and lose everything, right? And that's right, because if Joshua learns from this, right, and learns and goes in the gym and works on his weaknesses and comes back, people would say, wow, did you see he come back? He lost and he's come back. This is what Joshua's got to do. He's got to come back stronger. And I believe, and you probably believe the same thing, I believe he knocks Ruiz out in the rematch. I believe the fight's going to happen in the UK. Eddie Hearn weren't messing around. Eddie Hearn basically said, we're going back to the UK. Joshua maybe don't travel well. No, it could be anything. It's not funny. We're going back to the UK and we're fighting back in the UK because maybe that's where Joshua needs to fight. I don't know what it was. I don't know what happened, but that was a horrible American debut for...
He's not a traveller like Tyson Fury.
He needs to fight back at home and knock this guy out. Have everything in his advantage and just knock this guy clean out. Because we can't have him lose again, because British boxing is on a massive high and Joshua's probably 90% of that. We don't want that falling away. We need that. And actually Tyson Fury, to be credit to him, he said some good things, and actually Tyson Fury will probably be hurting inside. A lot of you probably thinks Tyson Fury is happy. No, because Tyson Fury wants that fight with Joshua. He wants Joshua to win because he knows that he wants to fight him. He wants to be the guy that beats him. But not just that. He knows that he's losing a massive payday that he could have with Joshua. That's a massive payday for Fury. That's why Fury's giving him words of encouragement, because he probably wants Joshua to come back and fight him, in the future. And one thing that I will say is that if Joshua can get a win over Ruiz, should be a message to Wilder, Fury, and Joshua. You need to get these fights on, because neither of these guys are that good. I think Fury's a cut above, but I think neither of these guys are that good that they can stay undefeated. These guys below are not that bad, and on any given night they can beat them. And this is why I think, like, Wilder's fighting Ortiz, Wilder could lose. This is what I'm trying to say. I think these guys need to get it on, because otherwise you're going to see fights like this, because I don't think either of these guys... I think Fury's unbelievable. I think Fury at his best, I don't think anyone beats him. But I think the others, like Wilder, Joshua, I think they're very beatable. So they need to get it on, and they need to give the fight fans... And Joshua now is lost. So Joshua is not going to be really care about undefeated record. I think Wilder needs to...
Wilder's drew as well.
Wilder's drew... But Wilder needs to get it on, because Wilder could have lost his last fight against Fury.
He should have lost his last fight. He got lucky. He got robbed.
But that's what I mean.
Fury got robbed.
But this is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, guys, leave your thoughts. A massive upset. Massive upset. I'm a bit devastated, if I'm honest with you, because it's not good for British boxing, is it? Joshua losing, because it's one of the biggest stars in British boxing right now, and it's just like a massive upset. So hopefully Joshua will immediately get the rematch, exercise that rematch clause, and knock this guy clean out. So then we can get the big fights like Joshua Fury, Joshua Wilder, and like I said, hopefully it kickstarts that and get some sense into these guys' heads that the heavyweight division is on a knife edge. Any given time, anyone can lose, and it scuppers everything. So hopefully these guys get a bit of sense and we get these fights now. But yeah, first of all, I think Joshua's got to beat Andy Ruiz, which who knows how that rematch goes. But leave your thoughts, guys, in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.